Hello there, I am the Abyssal Drink, back again, doing more videos. And oh fuck, I've been in a weird state. I know no one will probably see this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm in a very weird state at the moment, personally, but that doesn't matter. What matters is right here, right now, as I act stupid in the background. It is not time to be stupid. It is time to be very, very precise. As this game is... Oh, we should have won this game.
Oh my god.
We should have won this game.
Oh my god.
So we start off with an invade. We get one kill out of it. But we spend 5 summoners, 3 flashes, a heal, and an ignite, just for 1 flash on a Wukong.
Holy fuck. You got your 1 kill.
And the kill goes to support.
And the support got it. And what do we lose? You know, just a flash, another flash, ignite, and another heal. You know, just 5 summoners for 1 flash. And
I don't like invading because in solo queue you can't predict what your teammates are doing. You can try, and often I make the mistake of believing in my teammates when they are not in a position for me to believe in them.
Fuck me like, you know, mama never wanted to.
Even with my own friends that I play with, I have a somewhat of a hard time understanding what... Oh, jeez. I have a hard time understanding what they are trying to do. And how am I supposed to be fully coordinated with a group of people that I have never met in my life? So I don't like invades. They're risky, too risky for my taste. They're very unpredictable, highly volatile, and sometimes they mean absolutely nothing. So lane matchup, Syndra vs Kassadin, very Syndra favored. I've been noticing a lot of Kassadins have not been maxing their Q first, so the shield is not very great in the early game. In the mid to late it gets better, but early wise it's not very amazing. I've been seeing most of them have been maxing their W. So this matchup is pretty much just me as Syndra harassing him as much as possible, just abusing my low mana cost, low cooldowns, and my range to a very significant advantage. And this Kassadin is not playing respectfully. He's playing absolutely safe, and he dies for it.
Got him.
Now we are pretty even in farm. That is, again, because he isn't playing safe and respectful. Wukong gets a double kill in top lane. Kassadin didn't expend anything. He didn't expend his flash, so he can pretty much get right back into lane without having to be too worried. He has the corrupting potion, so he always has that healing in his back pocket for laning.
All I have to do is just harass him like super hard. And I'm not really afraid of Wukong either.
That is just a thing to worry about. Not worry about, but just to consider slightly.
Wait, what?
I'm saying what because my combo messed up. I didn't get the stun off for some reason. It was very weird.
Are you gonna try that again? Mate, go away. No one likes you.
I love a good pizza. I don't care what anyone says. Domino's pizza is pretty good. Garlic crust, barbecue sauce, bacon. Just great. So I'm just trying to make sure I chunk him out as much as possible, force him to use his corrupting potion over and over again, and that way I can TP back to lane and I'll have a huge advantage over him because his TP will be down and he'll have no potions. I don't need to shove him under tower if all of his minions are dead and he's willing to tank up minions. because that
Grab
means
this.
he's losing
And
healing
TP.
potential on his potion.
Whee!
So now he's kind of in a precarious state. Now I know we are very close to in farm. That is because I suck at farming. Just in general, I am pretty bad. There's a Wukong. I'm not really worried. He's level 4. He's not going to do much to me since I have my E. But everything's
Nice.
fine.
I don't know why he was here.
Try going for a kill. Just a little bit of
Or
pressure.
don't die.
Here I was not expecting
What the fuck?
the Wukong to be coming back. Simply because the Jax
Okay,
was
I
nearby,
wasn't expecting that. He's on a
and
killing spree now?
the Wukong did
okay.
get put pretty low, but he did come
What? I
back and
forgot
he
about that,
expended
okay.
flash for me, which is unfortunate. And he's on a killing spree. I know that said in the background.
Flash.
Was surprised that he's on a killing spree, even though I did look top to see him get a double kill. I forget things very quickly, which
That
is
was
very
weird.
apparent in this game. Very apparent. So it's an unfortunate thing. If I just,
How is he on a rampage?
it's just not something that I've dealt with too much. Wukong jungle. I know what to expect, but there's still a matter of just kind of having a muscle memory.
I'm
And
on the way.
so Kassadin has backed. There's nothing for me to really do in my lane.
I mean,
I could try to go for turret plating, but kind of what is the point? These two are low, and I know the Zyra's still down here, so I'd rather go
Okay.
help make sure that they're safe,
Just
that
making
they
my way
get a kill.
downtown, you know, walking
And they're
fast,
fine, they didn't need me.
faces passing up and down.
Nothing for me to do anyway in my lane. So just walk back to my lane, get
Some
some
places
vision
to
out
go.
into their jungle. And I miss the experience of 2 melee minions. I fuck up and I miss the cannon.
No, I missed the cannon. I'm bad. Wait, what?
It's not whatever,
You're
but
bad.
no, actually it kind of is just whatever. But at the moment, it is kind of a big deal because the Kassadin is still pretty even with me. But I am still making sure that I harass him. Kassadin, even once he hits 6 and he has his mobility, it still takes a lot out of him
Yeah.
um,
Playing back
to
for a second.
consistently use it. He doesn't have... I don't know where all these burps are coming from, but damn.
I mean, goddamn, we get it.
He has power, but at the
Yeah.
moment,
what?
compared to me, he doesn't. Because I just outrange him. And if he jumps on me, I just knock him away super easily. And since he probably is maxing his W first, he's not going to really deal all that much damage
I'm
to me.
aware. I see him. Please shut the fuck up.
Don't mind me, I'm just an asshole. That is all. Kassadin is also playing very respectful. He knows that I can be a threat. I have cheap shot and I have electrocute. So, right there.
Probably could have killed him. I'm just being very sparing with my flash. You know, gotta make sure I don't use it on stupid shit.
So, right there, I
Little
just
kill would be nice.
being able to knock him away. He cannot jump on me easily with just his ult. So I'm rather safe from his damage, which is really good when you're dealing with Kassadin. If you have a way to be safe, to avoid the full brunt of his damage, then you're pretty good. And yes, as I was saying in the background, that
Whoops.
I am sparing my flash quite often because I am still
Okay,
dealing with the
Wukong is pretty
Kassadin,
bad.
and
That's not
I want to make sure that I'm
you know
able to
what?
evade the
I don't
Wukong.
care, 'cause
that
I'm
is
Syndra,
6 and 2.
Syndra hurts.
I just want to be prepared for
Ow, my
a
legs.
bad situation.
Seriously, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Ow! Ugh.
So right
Ugh,
now,
fucking hurt.
my top lane is beginning to tilt,
Oh, fuck.
and the Jax at some point is going to start tilting as well. They're pretty combative towards each other,
And I fucked up.
and I don't know why, but there's
That
shit
sucks.
going on in top lane that
I
I
don't know
really
what
can't
camp it
do too
is.
much about.
Okay.
I'm
well,
not
I know
really
what Wukong is.
able to roam all that much, because a big thing is I just want to make sure that since this Kassadin is able to stay even with me in farm, I need to be able to be on top of him as much as possible, to delay him getting to later
away.
stages of the game. So I'm roaming because Wukong's pretty big. It'd be really good to get something out of him.
Okay. Flash.
Um,
I'm good with that.
There's no point. I can't kill him,
That's all I care
even if I
for.
flash. So we take his flash and just be content with that and just move on.
Yeah, just take 2 tower shots.
So game state, it's pretty even. I'm definitely winning my lane at the moment.
I will.
I'm up in farm. I have a kill to his assist, so it's pretty good for me. Kassadin jumping on me, pretty big mistake from him, but he's
I got a
able to
flash.
flash over my Q, just barely, which still, it's still meaningful. He's not level 11 yet, so his his ultimate cooldown. Bleh. I can speak. I swear English is my first language. His ult cooldown is still pretty long.
Singe is gonna singe.
It does mean I am vulnerable, but as long as I play safe, I should be fine. And by should be fine, I mean I am
Okay.
completely dead.
Okay.
Just
What?
the damage that Wu puts out is
What
rather
the fuck?
intense.
Yeah, okay,
Rather
just
intense.
What the
With
fuck
just the
is that
warriors.
shit, man?
To be honest,
Yeah, okay.
I don't understand why Riot gave Wukong
He can't take that
2
down
uses
fast
of his
enough.
ultimate. Like, I get they wanted to make him a fighter. I don't think 2 uses of the ult was really the way to go. Especially if there's not a way to stop him other than the conventional stun him,
Okay.
silence him type of ordeal.
Wow, they've been getting.
And that his
dragged.
clone can do it too. They gave him a lot of tools, so
Seriously, how the fuck
that's
do you lose that
so
much,
he's
though?
he's quite the nuisance to deal with. There, I'm using my ult. I am trying to see if I can get the kill. For the most part, it's just testing my damage out. Because again, I'm bad at farming, and there's not really much that I can do. Like because of Kassadin's innate magic resistance, I can't deal as much damage to him as I would other champs, and I'm not able to roam as much as I could. So I have to expend a lot just to get a kill on him, which I only have the 1 so far. Though there was a good play from me. I don't panic and use my E as soon as he jumps on me. I know he doesn't have the damage, so I just wait to grab my ball with my W and plop it on right in front of me so I can stun him with the E. which is definitely really good.
And I just put another one in there. Oh wait, that made me... whatever. Pharaoh's gonna find it. And
Now,
there's
here is where things just kind of start looking really
Wait,
weird.
you guys are you're 6-1, but you guys lost the turn?
Yeah,
I
my
mean,
bot
okay.
lane, the Vayne is
I guess.
not up in farm. Definitely way behind
That's
in
not good.
farm. But definitely has a lot of kills. I think Draven is...
I'm gonna have to
No,
push up
Draven
top
is slightly behind in
lane.
gold just by looking at the items that they both have.
They're taking that tower.
And
There's nothing to be
it's
done
a
about it.
bit of a surprise that they lost
Nothing
turret.
to be done.
It shouldn't be. It is Draven. Draven Zyra is pretty strong combination for early game compared to a Vayne Lulu. Plus with the
it's gone.
Wukong rampaging all over the Rift, them getting first turn shouldn't be that big of a surprise to me, but it is. Free flash out of the Draven. I wasn't gonna land a stun, not with that positioning. Now I have to play back because I don't have my E, and I also don't have my W. But Jackson, Maokai,
And Vayne wasted
for some reason jumps into a team fight, and they're flaming each other
Okay, listen, both of you shut the hell up. You're
big
both
time.
involved. Okay.
When our Lulu is dead, there's no point in
Come on,
fighting.
guys.
It's
Come on,
ridiculous.
guys. Don't take dumb fights.
I've said it in some other
Don't
video.
point the finger
I
either.
can be an
both
asshole
done
behind the
that.
screen, but I don't want to bring that energy into
Both
a
of you
game.
fucked up.
There's no point to doing
And-
that.
Okay, yeah, he has Conqueror. I think you probably misclicked.
I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about by misclick. Jax having Conqueror, that's fucking standard for a Jax to have. Like, I don't know why Maokai is
Oh.
complaining
Well,
about
he's
that.
resetting anyway.
Even if it's a jungle
Doesn't
Jax,
matter.
yeah, Conqueror, pretty standard for a Jax. That's
for
kind of how he
dragon.
wants to play a team fight. He wants to keep fighting.
Now, you go first. I am scared.
I always watch these recordings first before I record the voiceover, or if I decide to, and things like that make me laugh. Quickly though, I get jumped on by the Wukong. I have no idea how I killed him
Wait, how did I kill him?
at all, but I did.
You know what? Fuck
So
it, whatever. I'll take it.
But what
I'm gonna
I
get
was
this
getting
next.
to was
Jeez, the fucking woo hurts.
when I said that
Damn.
I am
this E
scared,
Did
I
400 damage.
mimicked myself
What?
in perfect timing.
I fucking swear, if he got that,
I'm an idiot, and I
Yeah,
laugh
heard
at myself
somebody
a lot.
flash.
It makes it more enjoyable doing these ranked games.
oh, the burn. Oh. Seriously, my lips hurt.
My lips are very dry when I was recording this.
Just mega chapped.
They were chapped to an extreme degree.
Like, not normal chapped.
Mega chapped is very, very accurate. They're fine now, though. They are fine now, though. At this point in the game, probably is noticeable that Kassadin has not been on the map. He is currently
Boop.
AFK.
Boop.
I have not even noticed. His map presence has been pretty bad anyway. And so we're fighting a 5v4 and we are straight up losing.
Yes, run away.
And like
mean,
a
we win
big
late game,
thing
so
about
we
it
should've.
is just the itemization
don't,
coming out
I'll
from
be
the team and the level of play. that's going on. Just the way that we're playing this map out is really bad. We should be recognizing that it is a 5v4, and we should be playing at the very least a 1-4. Someone should be off in a side lane. Not me. I have no way to escape. No way to defend myself
Yeah, I'm not checking
at
this
all.
shit. Get out of your goddamn mind if you're not
At
gonna
least
step up to it.
Jax should be going off on his own. He's frankly just kind of useless at the moment, and it would be best for him to get some solo XP and gold, instead of him coming to
Goddamn.
mid lane to do absolutely nothing. And
Man, you
meanwhile,
don't need to send the entire
their
fucking
team
brigade.
is able to
I'm not
have
going.
someone else in a side lane, their Wukong, and just do whatever he wants, and everyone is trying
Fuck
to
off.
run to go and deal with him.
No.
I have to flash. Singe doesn't have flash, and it was a good stun from the Vayne. I would have died if I didn't flash.
Mine.
But what
Am I
is like
untouchable?
pretty much going on
Am I
is like I
really?
have
I feel like I can still get touched. Holy shit balls.
fuck. Since me and Vayne are sharing experience, and Lulu too,
I don't
and
even know, man.
minions as well, we're not getting really anything out of anything.
Got you.
That's
No, Bad
useful
call.
without
Terrible
someone being
call.
off in a side lane.
Not even that. It's just not a good call.
So Jax was calling for Baron.
Like, it's not a good call because, I don't know, it's just reasons. I know why, I just don't know why. I can't explain things.
The reason why is that in this game state, Baron just is not going to equate enough to, it's not going to give us enough stats to where our level of play is going to suddenly start beating out their level of play.
Seekers, please.
And we were all just super low anyway. Even if we don't step up to try and touch the tower, there's no way that we
That's
were
pretty
actually
flash.
going to be able to tank up the Baron
That's pretty big.
very well. We would all be getting
Oh, I'm here.
low. I do know the Vayne has the Blade of Ruin King, the Wit's End on the Jax, and yes, we have the
That's nice.
Lulu, but we just do not have
Yeah, we need to
the
push up for
raw
some vision.
damage to actually take the Baron down before the enemy team could capitalize on us, which is why it was a bad call. Jax wants to continue saying we should go to Baron, but really, it's just not the play. Like, we don't even have any of
we
their
need
outer
this.
turrets down.
No.
The Baron is not going to magically make us really good at pushing up into waves, because what we need to be able to do is fight them. Baron will not give us enough power to be able to fight them. So we have to play for dragons as best as possible. Maokai goes in,
Shit.
pushes them away. We do get it. I say shit because I ulted the Wukong clone on accident. Once I get into a mood,
Fuck me.
go
I fucked up.
get into a play, it's hard for me to
Well,
pull
fuck
back
it.
from it.
Fuck it, fuck it.
And
fuck
Draven
it.
had a very
I
nice flash
accidentally
there at the end.
Ulted the clone. And I knew it was the clone, but I couldn't tell my brain to stop. It was kind of a too late type of ordeal.
It happens more than I'd like. Draven is becoming quite the monster,
420. Okay. we
and
got the
Vayne
dragon.
is
That's kinda
her
the most important part.
whatever advantage she had.
That is the most
dwindles
important
away
part, to get the
very
dragon.
quickly. She is outpaced in
You
farm
managed to get the flash out of
completely.
dragon, so
Now she is
after the next
absolutely
fight, he is
behind
not
in
going
items.
to be able to flash away from anything.
And it's just starting to go downhill. Draven is not supposed to be this big of a deal for us in a 5v4, but he is.
Bound to happen.
There's also, I'll get my background, we'll get to it eventually, but another good reason why we don't need to worry about Baron.
Okay,
And you might say, like, oh, this is a good reason to take Baron. Well, one, they would be able to get soul point and threaten soul point, and we would just have a Baron to show for it.
I'm just making sure that
Because they're not going to try,
murdered.
they're not actually going to pressure for Baron. They've never pressured for it
Hey, kill
at
your
all.
friend.
So even if we get the Baron,
Kill your friend.
how well are
Kill
we
your
going to push?
friend.
Because
Kill your friend.
at
We
the
haven't
state
taken
that
a
we're
single turret.
in this 5v4, we still don't have anyone trying to push up for a side lane. We still have no one in a side lane to push. If we take Baron, we'd end up in a 5v5, and our Baron would basically be pointless. The better play is just to try fighting over Dragon. It's risky, but it's the safer play in comparison. There's more to gain out of it, just with the way this team is.
The most you can pretty much get is like 6.
I know I'm rambling a lot, but
6 of these puppies.
it's hard not to.
Like, we just need to play them.
I can't help myself. I'm trying to be as cohesive as possible, but playing so that the enemy team fucks up, easier said than done. When it does feel like your team is fucking up. I'm not saying I'm not making mistakes. I am, but it just doesn't feel like I'm like the biggest issue in this game. Like my biggest issues are missing abilities, which is something I'm constantly working at anyway.
Oh wait, I need this on the right thing, otherwise I'll forget.
Like the issues that I normally have, I'm working at every single game. I'm already aware of them. I would just be beating a dead horse by pointing out, and I probably actually do end up pointing it out anyway, that I'm like shit at farming, that I'm bad with skill shots.
I mean, I have TP.
But there's no point for me to harp on and on about it when there are other things too that can be paid attention to.
That will push. It should push because the minions are so low. Like, they'll put damage out, but they're so low, it's gonna push.
Jax again wants to go for Baron. At best, Baron is just stalling,
Way more.
not going to really get us anything.
Way more important, dude. We're not gonna get anything.
Like, and it's not stalling in an important matter. I'm getting jumped on by the Singe. I have to flash over. I have to use my stopwatch.
I don't have a choice.
It just is what it is. And then this entire fight breaks out for pretty much no reason. And Vayne is just kind of running around, not doing anything. I'm already low, so there's nothing I can do in this fight. I've been taken out by the Singe. Maokai dies. The Draven somehow flashes over my QE.
No,
which
because
is
we should be going
strange,
after,
but,
Baron,
you know,
right?
whatever.
I don't know. Wait, they have a Kassadin?
Kassadin
Fuck
finally shows
Baron.
up.
Fuck Baron.
The
like,
biggest
seriously.
reason why that just kind of
We
all
get
goes to
Drakes,
hell
we
is the
scale
team is
harder
just,
into late game. Baron
their
won't get us
attention is
anything.
just completely split,
Baron won't even
and
allow us
I
to
because I get
push
caught out,
aggressively.
since my front line
Baron does
isn't
nothing for us.
well, frontlining, and I'm farther than I should be, and get chased down by the Singe. We end up in a situation that we shouldn't be in. We should just be kiting back,
No, it's gone
but
now.
team just
Fucking run towards
can't decide
Baron.
whether they want to retreat or want to fight.
How is it not gone? You know what? Fuck it. Whatever.
I just want to make sure that the wave is always pushing.
Teleporting.
Gotta make sure that we have an advantage somewhere. Push away the Wukong for safety. Singe is on top of me. Nothing I can do about it. It's a Singe. He's quite annoying. At this point, I don't want to fight. My ult is down. My abilities are down. There's no point in me fighting. And the team just, again, is very indecisive. Maokai doesn't know if he wants to retreat or
Yeah, no. leaving,
go
goodbye.
forward.
We got to defend our
Vayne
base.
is fighting, backing off, fighting again. And I'm just like, I just want to get to the base, to get to the minions as quick as possible. Because that's just more
Kassadin.
important, since
I
we
have
got
never
the
noticed.
dragon. Just pull
Seriously,
out.
though, I really haven't noticed Kassadin at all. He's just been so absent.
That wasn't a joke I made
Not the
knowingly.
reason
That
Baron
was
isn't
just
that big of a deal is because they're
me
not
being
even
stupid.
going for it. They don't try pushing for it at all, so it's not that big of a deal. Grab this, put a penetration, and yeah. The
even though the
anti-heal is
even though the
necessary.
Kassadin is back, that doesn't change anything. This game is still going. I mean, obviously, it's not in our favor, but
My
whether
ultimate
he
is all powerful.
stayed out of the game or not changes nothing.
They're not ever
He's
trying
still
to
not
push
making an
forward.
impact.
Even though they could,
He's just
they aren't.
existing.
a big thing about winning games is just recognizing what the enemy team is doing. And I guess what they're not doing. Don't fall for stupid baits. They're actually going for it. Huh. I mean, they don't know that we know.
Again, sometimes
Or Jax doesn't.
sometimes
What?
blaming your team isn't the
I
right
mean-
thing to do, but times like
What?
that,
Jax,
yeah.
come on, man. That was like
it's
a simple
clearly
warm-up.
on the Jax for what happened. He could have ward hopped.
Ward hop. All you had to
didn't-
do was ward hop.
Like, maybe he didn't see the ward. But even
Game's
still,
being
he's
a
not
little bit
mentioning
harder
in
than it
chat
should be.
what's going on, why he didn't,
Just
why he
saying.
couldn't. So the rest of us are just left there to only see the potential ward hop that never occurred. Fighting Wukong. Sonya's, he has to back away. He jumps back on me. I mess up. And I undershoot my Q, so my E does not stun, but I still manage to
Adam's
kill him in the
safe.
end. I have to expend flash for it though, so that's pretty bad.
Holy shit, what's
But
happening?
it doesn't really matter. My team is losing up on the top side in a essentially a 4v3 because Kassadin again is still rather useless,
my
and I
God.
get two-shotted by the Draven, and the game's just over.
We should not have lost
Yeah.
this game.
We shouldn't have.
Oh.
We should have played better, but
We
we
shouldn't have
didn't,
lost this
and
game.
that's all there is to say. Goodbye.
This game shouldn't have been a loss.